Welcome to the 14th episode of the Radiant Black podcast. This is a podcast focused on the Radiant Black series by Kyle Higgins, Marcel Costa, Michael Basudel, and Becca Carey. I'm joined today by my friends Ali and Radiant Matt. How's everyone doing today?
Doing great. We got a new episode of our new issue of Radiant Black to talk about, which is always fantastic, and the series never fails along with this one. So I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Another good issue, great covers. I'm excited to talk about it with you guys.
Yeah, let's do it. So Radiant Black number 11, obviously we had a huge issue, last issue, a monumental issue with Radiant Black number 10. So before we dive into it, there have been a few developments in the Radiant Black universe and just in the Black Market narrative in general. So I'll share what Kyle shared with us and what everyone else has shared. First of all, before we get into it, we've got a giveaway announcement, and we've already picked the giveaway winner for the first Radiant Black podcast giveaway, where we're going to give away the trade paperback volume 1. We're going to announce the winner at the end of the episode, so stick around and find out who won.
And I drew Radiant Black inside the cover. It's really good. It's not at all a stick figure. You're going to love it. So, yeah.
A few announcements this month. First of all, we've got a Radiant Red series, which is fantastic, by the same creative team who gave us Radiant Black issue number 6. We've got writer Cherish Chen, artist David Lafuente, colorist Mikel Muerto, lettering by Diego Sanchez, and of course the editing and designing by Michael Basudel. So very excited for this series. We anticipated this back a few months ago. We were very excited for the anticipation of it. It was a welcome surprise. Obviously, during Christmas, Kyle just came like Santa he was Radiant Santa, actually.
We get Radiant Red. I mean, Radiant Green should have been announced too, just for the full Christmas effect of both colors. But yeah, it's exciting to see them get that. Will Radiant Red pay her bills? Will Owen continue being the worst? I mean, who knows? I assume he will continue being the worst, though. And I'm looking forward to it. Good team.
And that's not the only gift that Kyle brought on his Cosmic Slave. He also got us some nice supermassive pages from colorist Igor Monti. I believe the artist is actually Francesco Mana, but Igor Monti did the coloring in some of the pages, and they're amazing. So, or he might have been co-artist. I'm not 100% sure on that. We'll find out soon enough. So check out Supermassive. Make sure you pre-order that. Coming out February 2nd. It's interestingly enough, I read this and I thought this would be an interesting controversial point to add to this month's podcast episode. So in an interview with Matt Groom, the writer of Infernal Glow Red, he says that Supermassive is set after the graphic novel despite being released first. We orchestrated it this way because the graphic novel is very much the origin of the character, so we're instead using Supermassive as a bit of a hint at what's to come in the graphic novel, but even what might come after. So it's less about there being little cute tie-ins and more that the readers of Supermassive will get big important clues about IGR's future and the future of this massive verse in general. So it looks like originally the design was Infernal Glow Red's first appearance was going to be Infernal Glow Red, the trade paperback or hardcover, whatever it is that people who backed the Kickstarter were going to get. But now that Supermassive is coming out before, while it might not be the chronological first appearance, it is going to be the first appearance of Infernal Glow Red.
Like the free comic book day slip up with Spider-Man there.
Exactly.
But it's kind of like Black Panther, how we saw him in Civil War, and then we got his backstory later in Black Panther, so it's a nice little taste.
Yep. So for me, this is the first comic book appearance of Infernal Glow Red. So good luck, everyone, hunting those Supermassive number 1s. There's a lot of cool covers. Make sure you're on the lookout. She's just right there on almost every single cover with the rest of the team.
That should be FOC for next week, right?
Yeah, it should be, or maybe this week. I have no idea.
Yeah, if it comes out February 2nd, yeah.
Yeah, it should be very soon. So everyone be on the lookout. Get your Supermassive orders in. They are $5.99, I believe, for number 1. And there's a lot of stores who are doing a 30% discount, FOC discount if you pre-order it. So make sure you get those in with your shops.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, another awesome announcement this month is we just recently, it's a good time we actually delayed the drop of the episode a few days after the issue came out because we got all the announcements right after. And we got Radiant Black issue number 13. So the solicit says, as the saying goes, when it rains supervillains, it pours supervillains. But even as XL hunts Radiant Black for the ultimate recharge, Marshall's got bigger things to worry about, like repairing his reputation. And the old friend who just showed up in town, and who's got his dog. So Radiant Black Year 2 begins here. We've got a gorgeous cover A here by Stefano Simeone. It's just amazing. It really gives me a Chronicle vibe. If you've ever seen that movie Chronicle, it just reminds me very much of the movie poster.
This is the cover A?
Yeah.
I get like the 8-bit kind of one, or 32-bit, like the video game kind of looking one.
No, I'm talking about just the normal, like, colored weird one.
I'm an idiot. I saw Marcelo Costa A, and I assumed it was like cover A. But yeah, no, that's cover B I'm looking at. Cover A, yeah, no, it does give me Chronicle vibes. Chronicle is a really good movie if no one watched it. I think they're making a sequel to that, which probably won't be good.
Sweet.
But I hope it's good. But that's like lightning in a bottle. Like we were talking off air about like the Matrix. Like leave some things be. But yeah, no, beautiful cover as always. I mean, I'm waiting for the day that we get a bad Radiant Black cover, but I don't think that's gonna come because these artists are killing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Second cover B is, I feel like, something we've all asked for before, where we got to get like a Radiant. Everyone wants these covers with whatever they like because they usually come out so well, and I can't say any different here. This is an awesome cover B by Diego Sanchez. And what do you guys think? A lot of people are they're gonna want this one, eh? It's pretty cool.
I definitely want it. That's one of my favorite covers so far.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
Yeah, and then you just got that whole Street Fighter vibe on the thing, or whatever you like, Street Fighter,
Mario versus
Super Mario,
Capcom kind of vibes. Yeah, definitely Capcom vibes.
Yeah, exactly. There's definitely some Capcom there. And the cover C by the 125 variant by Tom Whalen, that's a gorgeous cover. At first I looked at it from far away and I thought it was Jeff DeCall just because it has those colors that he loves to use. But like closer look, I see Tom Whalen's signature, and yeah, definitely one of the variants I'm gonna be really going after. I think just this issue is gonna be a big issue because it seems like 11 and 12 we're slowing down the momentum a little bit because we just came out of existence. We're trying to catch our breath and deal with the day-to-day stuff so far. But this looks like, just based on the cover, shit's kind of getting cosmic again. So I'm very excited.
It's the first issue of year 2 as well. So hopefully you start with a bang.
Yep. Yeah. And we just got that announcement in the Discord. So if you're not in the Discord, so we were told to keep it in the Discord, but all I'm going to say is Kyle just dropped an awesome year 2 poster in the Discord, and you should get in to come see how awesome it is because he told us it should stay in there for now.
A lot of juicy reveals in the Discord.
You revealed that it's a poster. Oh my god, that's the worst thing you could do. Now all our access is gone. We're gonna do the boxes will be gone in the night. No, but yeah, if you're not in the Discord, like if you're listening to this podcast, like there's no reason not to be in the Discord because you get stuff revealed a few days before it does, and it's always amazing. Basudel and Higgins are dropping bombs left and right, and it's always amazing stuff. If we're getting, who knows what it could be, a cover, a poster, or a tease at some other stuff. So it's the place to be to talk Radiant Black for sure.
Yeah, and I don't know if anyone's noticed yet, but in the solicits for March 2022 of Image Comics, we've got some big surprises, and amongst them is that we have a 30 Astro City is doing a celebration, and they're doing a reboot. So they did a bunch of crossover covers with different titles, including one with Radiant Black. So they're not actually crossing over the contour or anything. It's just a tribute cover. It's still super cool, and I know I'm gonna be grabbing one.
With Al Simmons there, right? The Spawn one?
No, it's the Astro City one.
Yeah, but isn't Spawn on the cover with him, or am I thinking?
Is that Spawn?
No, it's not Spawn.
It's not Spawn? Jesus. No. Yeah. What do I know? If
it was Spawn, we'd be going bananas right now. Yeah.
Well, then we'll just go nothing. Yeah. No, it's probably cool. The cover looks nice. I did see it. Even if Spawn's not on it, I don't know. I got Spawn.
Yeah, I've never read Astro City personally, but I'm gonna grab one just because I think it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'll check it out. You put Radiant Black, it's like a stray dog. So if you put a stray dog or Radiant Black on it, I'll buy it. Like I'm buying Van Varela.
Like we just had Christmas, festive holiday seasons, and I think one thing that was extra festive and extra awesome was the artwork. I think done by Trish and Tony Fleece, Trish Forson and Tony Fleece, which they shared. Those are the creative team behind Stray Dogs, and it was this cool artwork with all the stray dogs and then some dolls, and there was an Invincible doll and a Radiant Black doll in the background and everything. Nice. It was just super cool. Yeah, so if you haven't checked that out, go to their page, Tony Fleece, the writer of Stray Dogs, check it out. It's pretty sweet, just made my day, so hell yeah. And yeah, I think that's it for Reading Black number 13. Now we'll get into some speculation as to who XL is and all that stuff once we do the deep dive into issue number 11. And as for the news, I think the last thing we have here is that it seems that Radiant Black 11 is brought back the return of Doppler, and we're getting the return of Shift soon. So more on that in a second. Anyone else got anything to say before we dive into this issue?
The series is available in Italy now, which is cool. There's been a lot of great Italian artists that have contributed to the series, so I'm pretty sure that they probably influenced this decision, and it's great. It's always nice when you get to share your great series with more of the world, so that's fantastic that Italian speakers get to enjoy Radiant Black.
Yeah, and I hear they're printing it in French too, so Quebecers can hold on to their
Radiant
seats.
Black's going international.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Both in the comic and in real life. So.
Maybe we'll find an alien language and print it in that too. They should just print the issues in the Radiant text too, just so just so Mara has like a lot more.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Klingon here. Yeah, let's get it going.
Yeah, exactly. Just like basically the Reader's Guide to Learning Radiant. Anyway, Radiant Black number 11, titled Awake. Cover A by Dylan Burnett. We've got a different colorist this issue with Mattia Lacuno doing the coloring. Got Marcelo Costa on the artwork and Kyle Higgins writing with Joe Clark. And letters by Becca Carey and Michael Basuto editing and designing. So we start right away. We're teleported back into Marshall's apartment, and from the reader's perspective, it looks like he's just like we're recovering from last issue. He just came back right after rescuing Nathan, but we realize that's not the case because right as he runs outside, it's raining. He's just running all the way to the hospital as any normal human being would do after the whole situation of existence in the last issue. And
that pizza should be looking rank. It's been 6 weeks. Let's cut to the chase. That pizza should be looking worse. And Marshall is a knife and fork pizza guy. How do you guys eat pizza? Knife and fork or the real way?
That's a little disappointing.
I don't think he seems like a knife and fork pizza guy, especially we know he smokes weed. And if you're hungry, you got the munchies, are you getting the knife and fork for the pizza? I think not. Not that I know anything about that. Anyways, no, I'm just saying, no, this was cool the way they did this, where we're immediately getting back to it, and we have what we assume are bath bombs on the front step. I like how they built this up. They might have missed not showing rotten pizza on the desk, and we don't want to see rotten pizza on the table. But having all the mail out there, that unless he made like a massive friggin' order of bath bombs, that something's not right.
Yeah, and as he's running to the hospital, he's already looking for Nathan, but he realizes that there's no one there because it seems like almost the hospital staff recognize him in some way because he's been around so much prior to, the whole existence thing. But he realizes that Nathan's no longer in the emergency room. Instead, he's in the physiotherapy room and he's working with the physiotherapist and, he's on his road to recovery.
Yeah, he's on the road to recovery, and I think the way that Nathan acts, I mean, we're gonna do full spoilers for this issue throughout, but it's interesting on a second read, like looking at Nathan's behavior, because we know the Radiant was speaking to him. I don't know if that's the first time, but he's back and he's kind of different, right? I mean, obviously he had a it wasn't even a near-death experience. It pretty much was like a death experience. I don't know if they called the time of death, but he was a goner. He was as close to death as you can get. And now he's just kind of like, oh, hey, look who it is. Like, you'd think you'd be more shocked to see your friend after 6 weeks, and it's the first time you've seen each other since you went on like the trippiest experience of your life, right?
It's been a while too. It's been like almost a year, at least for Marshall.
Yeah, I mean, it's been like what they say, 6 months or 6 weeks.
I thought it was 6 weeks.
Well, no, 6 weeks. But I'm saying like since Nathan was actually
woke up
alive before the coma. I don't know. Nathan, he felt a little weird this episode. I couldn't tell if it was just a little awkward between them because they haven't actually met or seen each other in a while, or if something else is going on.
He felt more normal toward the end, but also I guess I was going to mention this later on, there is, I think, maybe a jealousy factor, right? Where maybe Marshall was a little jealous of Nathan, and now Nathan is like, he's messed up now from this. And when he was the writer and had no hope or whatever, the Radiant really pumped him up and gave him what he needed to really get that pep in his step, and now he doesn't have that. His best friend has that. So there's definitely this friendship is really interesting, how they're both kind of going to probably be butting heads about this power struggle. Yeah.
I guess it's kind of weird too because he saved his life, right? Like he's kind of jealous of the person who saved his life. It's going to be an interesting dynamic to go through.
Yeah, I think part of it that will make him more nuanced, I guess, is that Nathan made his own choices. So it's not like I feel like part of making his own choices, we had that one introspective scene in like Radiant Black #4 when the building is about to crash, or when they go back to him in existence with the robot, and he's just like, your connection is permanent, blah blah blah. Are you sure you want to do this? And he just
Yeah.
has that like reluctant look on his face. So I feel like in a lot of ways Nathan knew what he was doing when he made his choices, and part of making those choices was dying, or getting really close to dying and losing the Radiant, because the other, like the alternative, and I guess we'll soon come to see how these things play out, would be like for him to have kept the Radiant, and it would have ended up with someone else. Do you know what I mean? Irresponsibly, or maybe someone would have come looking for it. Maybe 001 would have claimed it from Nathan's body or something like that. So in the
Yeah.
long run, what happened, and I think sooner or later they'll come to realize that it was for the best.
And the last
Hopefully
time they
one
talked,
day.
oh, yeah,
Sorry, I
go
was
ahead.
just gonna say we get a what if issue. We see what if Nathan
Yeah.
kept the Radiance.
Tales from
Yeah.
Existence or something. Yeah, that'd be
It's
Yeah.
sweet.
probably like Old Man Nathan from the dreams. Like that's what if that's the scenario.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's right. I
I
forgot
like
about
that.
that too. Worth breathing and stuff like that because he knows. But oh shit, I'm gonna have to reread that issue again, knowing what we know now. That's they're thinking ahead so much. Like they really did plan this. So, but yeah, and also, I mean, the last conversation these guys had was that massive discussion they had in Existence about like I hate you or whatever. I'm jealous of you and all that kind of stuff. And then they're kind of cool at the end. But that is a big revelation. And so like when Nathan has that look, it's like, hey, look who it is. Like it's kind of like best friend greeting, but also like we've been through it. Like like they survive a festival or something. Like it's really cool. There's just so much. There's just so much that's gone on in these like first 11 issues and stuff like that. So many layers. It's really good.
Yeah, we see that he's still struggling with the recovery, and they have a conversation, asking where he's been, and that's when he lets Marshall know he woke up 6 weeks ago. So existence apparently came with a cost, and part of that cost was just like 6 weeks.
Yeah, and then we get the headlines, which are really cool. I love the schools blame TikTok's lava challenge on or whatever. Like, oh, you can only imagine. There's these, there's been stupid challenges forever. I mean, even just on YouTube or wherever. But I gotta love it. You can totally see a lava challenge or whatever. Who knows what that entails? And also we get teases of Doppler, where we see the Doppler mask, and the Doppler mask is really cool. It reminds me of Bloodsport's mask with like the mouth or whatever. Not quite the same. It's a really cool idea to have the audio wave be the mouth. Definitely Daft Punk ish.
Yeah, and just to give ourselves some credit, guys, we've been calling out so many of the cool things in the previous episodes. A lot of people are just like making connections or finally realizing. If you haven't been following the Brain Black podcast, definitely consider following. Tell your friends, tell everyone, it's time for us to grow a little bit. So let everyone know, hey, we're out
Mm.
here, talking about it, discussing. And if anyone ever wants to come onto the podcast, you can just reach us, on Discord. Everyone knows it was just me and Matt Bash or Matt or Ali. We're all in the Discord. And if you need to email us the email, you can tell us, we're always welcome to having guests on the show and everything. We don't have any requirements or anything. You just let us know and we'll make it happen. So
And I
yeah,
was pissed. Like after we went off the air last week, I said, "You guys, I feel like Henry Kissinger is going to die next issue," and it happened here. And I wish I said it on the podcast. Damn. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, keep going.
there's an odd amount of there's a lot of like focus on Henrik Singer here, which is I noticed that right away. But the thing is we announced when we saw Doppler in issue #9, we were talking about, at least I remember bringing it up, how significant Radiant Black #9 is, because it has the first appearance of 3 villains. We got that robot that wasn't named, and we got that Shift character who
Shifts.
looks kind of like Genji, and then we got Doppler. And I was saying, Kyle Higgins not going to give the name of one of his characters
Cow.
from Cal, yeah, to this universe, if he's not going to use that character again and again, because like it's clearly a character he cares about. So, and if they're making reference to the other thing, it's, trust me, like it's, so
Yeah,
get on
and
top of
also,
Doppler.
yeah, and before the year ends and we're feeling 22, there's been 2 Taylor Swift references in this comic. I just realized this the first of 2 there, which is pretty interesting. I know a girl that's obsessed with Taylor Swift, so like I've been hearing a fair amount of it, and that's all I'll say about that. It's nice. Taylor Swift makes some good music, although if you break up with her 10 years later, you're gonna get like an extended version. There's really no avoiding like the breakup song, but then you get like the director's cut 10 years later. Like poor Jake Gyllenhaal. At least he gets to be an Oblivion song to escape it. But Jesus. Anyways, I digress.
Yeah. So yeah, they're back to chatting a little bit, and we get Marshall and Nathan catching up. And Nathan asks Marshall if he talked to the robot, and then he lets him know there's so much they gotta catch up on. But it's funny. He says red's maybe not as awful as we thought. Pink is cool. Yellow sucks.
Or yellow.
Yeah,
but pink, red kind of almost killed Nathan, but yellow's the one that sucks.
I get red. I get the sentiment towards rating red, but yellow's just trying to keep everything together.
Yeah. Marshall's gonna be yellow with the next generation of Radiants because he's gonna get older too and realize that I'm already getting to the point where I got no time for this shit. So
Here we go again.
Watch out there, Marshall.
Yeah, and we see the first instance of awkwardness, I guess, between the two friends, where it seems like Nathan's not really in the mood. Just lets them know that he's happy for him, but he's tired, so he's gonna go back to resting, and that's where we see the Burnett's again. And I'm glad we get to see them again because they're great characters, and they're very surprised to see Marshall. It's almost the complete opposite reaction of that we see when we see them first coming into Marshall a few issues ago, and he's always with Nathan at the bed. Here they seem almost shocked that he's back. So clearly a lot of people have been impacted by Marshall's absence, and we're going to see that being felt more as we continue throughout the issue.
They might think he's a drug addict at this point if they heard about what he left at the video store, the pills and the beer there. So you never know. They might be like, get out of here. He might be like Luann Van Houten there, kicking him out, poor Bart Simpson at this point. But when I read this the second time, I was like, oh my God, almost as good as having Nathan back is more Papa Burnett wisdom, which is going to be great. And we get to see the family. So it's great. It's great.
I wonder if anybody called the cops or filed a missing persons report. 6 weeks is a long time.
That's a good point.
I wonder if the cops actually care.
Yeah, they do hate him. You're right.
Officer Peters or whatever the other two were probably like, no, we hate that guy. And that Radiant Black guy's been gone too. Oh, fantastic all around.
Yeah. So we get to the next page and we see a change of scene. There's a teacher grading papers, and unfortunately the top one's an F. So make sure you do good in class, everyone. And they're flipping. She just makes a mess out of the papers. It seems like there's something wrong with her hands. Or no, someone tapped on the window and startled her. So, but there's something wrong with her hands. That's for later. It seems her name is Dr.
Well, her hand's already shaking, right? So she doesn't even have a good grip. So it's the combination of the two. So you're partially right there. It's like you're startled and you're stressed, and you got to go rob a bank later, and you got to give this guy an F. Jesus. Anyways, keep going.
So her name is Anya Rania, which is an interesting name, and not yet a doctor, unfortunately, but a professor, an adjunct lecturer, according to her. But we just see the typical, if you've been in college or if you are in college, you could totally relate to this. But just the student asking about their midterm grade, and it just seems like this is all just to show us who she is. We see that she's a teacher. She plays the cello. She has some sort of she used to play the cello.
I'm not one to speculate on people's health conditions, but this could possibly be, I don't know if it's MS or not. We know that Kyle's been doing great stuff bringing awareness to MS and Darkhawk and stuff like that, and he's definitely probably learned a lot. So I think that's on the table, but maybe not. But either way, she's got a condition here that seems to be robbing her of one of her great joys, playing the cello.
Yeah. So we'll see that we're back at the shop where real world where
things are getting real.
Yeah.
Did you read the sign?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Doctor Strange Love of the Real World.
Yeah. Learn to love the bath bombs. Well, she got stuck with all the inventory for 6 weeks.
Yeah. Poor Marshall, just kind of burdening everybody with his absence, which is, I feel like, unfortunately, though he makes some bad decisions sometimes, of recent he just can't catch a break. So we see that extending here.
The Circle Guy News guys got screwed over as well. Those poor guys there had made a deal with Radiant Black, and they're probably like, "Where is that asshole?" They're probably pissed off him again. It's probably right back to square one.
Where's my access?
Yeah, exactly. So we see that he's also on a short leash with his coworker or his boss, which it turns out she lets him go, and
they thought he killed himself.
Yeah, we see that there's a lot of concern again with everybody who's close to Marshall around, involved in his life. And we see Marshall just react in typical Marshall fashion where, just fine, I don't need this bullshit, run this place into the ground without me. Obviously he's already run it under a bunch of bath bombs, but apparently that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
And we get our favorite little appearance from Radiant Pink, and Eva just wants to know if Radiant Black is available for some help around the neighborhood.
Yeah, Kramer wishes he could pull off a pop in like this, and we're going to go get some gyros. And I love Old Man Marshall not understanding stuff. Like when I didn't get it the first time we read it, but when he says like, oh, we could do an exclusive fight for my Patreon, he's like, I don't even like tequila. It's like, wait, is Patron tequila?
Yeah,
and of course it
Patron,
is. Yeah.
And then he misses it again when she says she wants subs, and he says this place does gyros.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. So yeah, it's cool that I really like the way that they incorporate the streaming into this, where, I mean, it's basically like you thought Hawkeye was doing LARPing pretty cool. This is the real deal right here over LARPing. And I mean,
this must be like what Megan and Kyle's conversation in real life basically is, you know? It's like before every what do you call it? Radiant Radio? Is that what's it? Yeah, Radiant Radio. Yeah.
We do Radiant Roster. That's
yeah. I just imagine before every Radiant Radio, it's just Megan's just like, you know, like this, that, and he subs, and he's just like, what? No, I'm just kidding. Kyle's probably hip, man. He knows what's up.
Oh, he does.
But, just very good writing here because it's very, I guess, relatable. You know, I see a lot of, you know, especially as I'm starting to get a little bit older, I guess, where I'm not super in tune with what the kids are saying these days because I can't care anymore. But I can totally see this disconnect, sort of, and I think it's hilarious.
And it's kind of like Peter Parker making money selling photos of Spider-Man, right? Where you're using your ability in a way that's, you know, it's not it's not taking advantage, right?
All of OnlyFans owes them their whole existence to Peter Parker because he created OnlyFans before there was OnlyFans. Yeah, like that's the thing. Yes, Peter Parker.
Don't sully Peter with that.
He's the OG fans. That's what he is. He's the number one. He created that. He's been taking pictures of himself before anybody did a selfie. I'll tell you that much.
Speaking of which, I got links to plug later on. Speaking of OnlyFans, anyways, I'll leave that to you. Just kidding. Anyways, I love their interaction. Eva's really cool. It's cool to see her with her hair down too. She looks cute with that going on, and it's really cool, the idea of a streamer. She can go anywhere, so really she can get the best footage of anybody. Really, she doesn't need a GoPro. Well, I mean, she can use a GoPro. She doesn't need a drone because you can make anything happen. And like, I don't know, could she like teleport someone to like the center of the earth really if she wanted to? Like, she could really, you know, make seismic streams come true here.
I guess we'll see. And that's the thing, is that, you know, one thing I see a lot of the community, and, you know, we want to give a special thank you to the community because, you know, we're all here because of the community, the Discord community, just the Radiant Black community in general, the Twitter community of Radiant Black everywhere. The Radiant Black community is amazing. And, you know, we love you guys, and we hopefully continue.
Wouldn't Chang a thing about this community. Anyways, keep going.
We can continue talking about Radiant Black always, and, you know, learning together and everything. Everyone here is super friendly and welcome. And one thing I just wanted to say is that everybody's been so excited about everything that's coming out with it, Supermassive, Radiant Red, everything. And if you guys, you know, if everyone really loves this stuff, just remember that our support is what's going to get it further. So the longer that you want Radiant Black to go on, so keep supporting it, you know, get people interested in it, tell them about the comic, tell them about the podcast.
Thinking about buying insulin this week? No, buy like 10 more issues of Supermassive. I'm just kidding. But
I've just seen like shout out to some people, and I don't remember their names. I think maybe Septic Knave was one of them, or I'm not 100% sure. But I've seen some people in the Discord who bought like 5 or 10 copies of the trade paperback, and they've been giving them out as Christmas presents or, you know, things like that. That's a great way to get your friends into it. Obviously, we were doing it on a much smaller scale. We're trying to do giveaways with all these things. We have, you know, single issues lined up. We have the trade paperback, which we're going to announce the winner for at the end of this episode. So just remember that if you love Radiant Black, continue to support it. Continue to tell people about it. And that's how we get cool things like Radiant Red, and maybe even one day, who knows, we'll get a Radiant Pink miniseries, because it's all possible, right? We talk about how this series, in its original solicitation, it talks about how it's somewhat influenced by or somewhat similar to Invincible. And
Megan's got a following, and she's got a taste, right? So I assume she'd be involved heavily, right? Because she's already done the Unleashed, and now she's writing this issue. She's co-writing issue 12. So I mean, now she's got the hunger. So
and we have the you know, Invincible universe. We had a lot of spin-offs where we developed that universe more. And here it seems like we're taking a similar approach, with every 5 issues being a story arc and the 6th issue being a focus on a new character. And then it seems like as the series and the intellectual property grew organically, we're expanding to other miniseries like Radiant Red. So just all I'm saying is continue to support this title if you love it. Continue to spread the word. Continue to do just involved with the community, and we'll see more and more growth hopefully. And Radiant Black is gonna get bigger. Just today when Kyle announced the year 2, when he showed the year 2 poster in the Discord, he was talking about, you just wait until year 3. Look at we look at what we've got planned for then, and that just shows you that he's already thinking about year 3. Like that just shows you that the projections are good. Yeah, these big plans and things are going on. And if this was a series that was going to be tied up at like issue 25, you would get closure soon. But this is clearly something that is here to stay. So let's keep on supporting it so it'll last long and longer until Cal's done telling his story.
Yeah, all this talk of Supermassive in the earlier crossover cover. I mean, it would be cool if we got like another. We had Savage Dragon. It would be cool if we saw someone else show up, because I know Spawn's got his own universe going on. Things are popping off. It would be cool even if we saw like Space Racer, just like a hint of another image character, or like just one ice cream truck driving by, and you have like one green-eyed motherfucker in there. I would be hyped. But yeah, either way, it would be cool. But either way, it's already a Supermassive crossover, and I'm really interested in Rogue Sun as well as Inferno Girl Red.
Yeah, so check out Radiant Black if you haven't already. Although I hope you have, because then we spoiled a bunch. But if you're looking forward to more, just know that year 2 is looking to be awesome, because based on just this issue alone, we're developing the Rogues Gallery, and here after we see the whole cute interaction between Marshall and Eva, we get to a new page where Kyle, the king of dropping new characters without naming them, because when they're not named until they're named. So we don't get any names yet, but we see the same
Epic
guys.
Front Boys.
Yeah, we see the Fallout Boys from hijacking the Radiant tech from what we assume is the ship of 001. Yep. Yeah. And so they have this warehouse here. They've got this tech. They're clearly torching the place. They're getting rid of certain evidence, or they're tampering with improving certain tech, because they're saying the mannequin shouldn't catch on fire. So clearly they're doing tests with the technology they found, doing illegal shit with it.
And these guys are streaming what they're doing. They're recording and broadcasting their findings. So it's kind of like a duality. Like Pink is like the good character, kind of doing her streaming but doing good, or at least trying to. And these guys are up to shady stuff. And technically they are doing a bit of good, where they're at least helping poor Rania here, or I forget her name.
I don't know if it's helping.
It's like a drug.
I mean, they are making her evil, but they have access. It's like they're kind of abusing her, but I mean, she is getting access.
I think she's a test rabbit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
A guinea pig for sure. Yeah.
It's not from the goodness of their hearts.
Yeah, like they're 100% just testing the tech on her and stuff to see the side effects.
They're doing like 5% good. At least it gave us that cool panel on number 2, or the next page where it's like a mandala almost. It's really cool looking. I love that. It's my favorite panel.
Yeah, so we get Anya here, and it's clear that the Doppler is associated with these sketchy people, and it makes sense, right? Because the tech is futuristic, kind of does look radiant-ish, and we see that it is associated with Glitch Guy, and the cello bag actually, the cello case, actually had the Doppler costume inside. So the next page we get that really cool Zen image of her just kind of meditating.
Speaking of Zenyatta.
It looks like it's some kind of Zenyatta. It looks like it's some kind of therapy. She says in a couple panels later it's focused on ultrasound therapy.
Yeah,
but her insurance stopped covering it, so
recover. Yeah, so the tech is almost like therapeutic in a way for her, so she could play her devices, and and it's interesting because you see that the guys haven't really considered it for that purpose. That's what she's explaining, because you only saw a weapon.
They see results. They don't care how it works.
You can modulate sound and transmute it into other energies. You have to treat it like an instrument. So they say, lucky we found a musician to rent. So she's saying focused ultrasound therapy was the only thing that helped. And now they're adding it to her tab. So it's clear that she's already in debt with these people, and that she showed up here out of desperation to get some sort of quick fix. Although this doesn't seem like a very good idea in hindsight, because we see that Radiant Pink and Radiant Black are on the lookout. And of course the Twitch community is great, because I'm assuming this is Twitch or some sort of, the online community is always great, because you ask for someone to find something and they're out there like Sherlock Holmes looking under every sofa. And of course we get a sighting of Doppler, which Eva requests. So they see Doppler and they get to where they've seen her last, and that's where shit starts to go down.
But before that, we get the debut in the chat of the legendary, the Possum Watcher. Surely this issue will be going for thousands on eBay after this. This is not a joke. Well, this is, it's not a drill. Also, the second Taylor Swift reference, and one person's name is just Piss with like multiple eyes, unless it's Pies, but I read it as like, I'm not gonna say the full thing, but it looks like it made me laugh. It looks like just like Piss, which made me laugh because I'm five in my head. But no, this is great. Kyle really does a good job of showing this chat and what it's actually like, saying stuff like go to Canada, where it's like you see any concert post like their tour dates and stuff like that, you'll see like, oh, come to Europe or go to Canada, go to whatever. Like it's really accurate. It does a really good job of that.
Yeah, no, I didn't catch the piss thing, but
you don't want to, hey? No. Yeah. Anyway, I thought it was really weird. I found here how when Eva said she's muted, and then she goes, dude, what? I heard your friend woke up. Or whatever. It's like, you just heard about this? Like, did someone say it in the chat, or did you like you could have talked about this while eating gyros? But I thought it was a little weird.
She might have known for a while too, since it's been 6 weeks.
And again, you don't always remember stuff. Like a lot. Yeah, you're right. A lot has happened, and then you're like, oh, and by the way, I forgot. So it could just be like that. Sometimes that's how conversations happen, where you remember stuff out of the blue, and you have to mute your GoPro chat as you hunt down sound wave villains. But yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. So Eva lets him know that, sorry, RB, the mob has spoken. We're going for the cheese. So that's their cue that they're after the Doppler. And we see a little bit of teleport action. They're teleporting from town to town. Possum Water, again, the MVP. I'm pretty sure it's just Michael, because that's his Twitter handle in the Rain Black universe. I'm just kidding.
Well, there'd be more jokes than that if it was, but no.
It's true. And he lets them know that it's in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So I think that's Wisconsin. So they teleport there really fast, and they see someone getting in, just stuffing bags into their car, and they're just like, "What are you?" No. Doppler finally reacts, and it's another oh shit moment here. The Possum Watcher was right. That's my second favorite line in the entire this issue, because there's a better line, which I'll bring up later. So it's fun, Rainy Black lets him know it's funny how we keep meeting this way, and we get some awesome, gorgeous pages of artwork by Marcelo Costa, with the coloring especially on point. This issue by Mattia Lacono, so or Lachono. I'm sorry, I'm not 100% sure, but fantastic artwork by Matteo. And yeah, just we see the Doppler has an accident because she blows up a building with some old folks in there, but I don't think she quite meant to do that, because she's just reacting in a way of like, oh shit. But we get some really gorgeous pages, gorgeous panel work by Costa and Mattia, and we see some teleporting going on. Just the team getting their groove on, Radiant Pink with the clutch, alley-ooping people onto surfaces to make sure they land okay.
The cake is a lie, but these portals are no joke, as they just save people's asses. I love landing on the awning with the onomatopoeia just going plop. There. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's a great issue, and we see that they go back to the car, and she's asking Rainy Black, how do you know it's her car, or he's asking Eva, how do you know it's her car? She's like, does this look like the kind of car you'd steal? So I like how Eva's like on her toes, always quick. She has
good detective work.
Yeah, good detective work, whereas Marshall's just always kind of like, whatever.
And Marsh goes, this looks like the kind of car you'd steal. Marsh goes, yes. Because, like, you don't want to steal a Ferrari. You steal a nondescript kind of vehicle. Guys, come on. I mean, that's carjacking 101.
Exactly. So, yeah, we see that he finally gets a hold of, this is a big oh shit moment for Doppler, because not only did they find out her name, Anya Rania, with the two silent J's, of course. Thank you, Kyle. Because I know he knew we were all wondering. Anyway, it looks like she's a musician, and she has a SoundCloud, and then that's where they catch the video of who we think is Excel, but we could be wrong.
Wait, are they silent J's, or are they like or silent Bobs? No, are they silent? Okay, I don't think they're like I sounds or whatever, or Y sounds, so it could be Anna Rana instead of Anya Rania. The jury's still out. I'm as confused as ever. But anyways, continue.
Yeah, it could be either way, and. So Anya, she's basically in deep shit right now, because not only should she lead the superheroes to them, but she somehow supercharged the stuff. So we realize that it's not so much her, the supercharging, but it's also the radiance being around them that's leading to certain things happening. So, not
We
only
learned the duo's name.
Yeah, Epic Front.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
that's
two guys, the ones that gave Doppler her gear, their like
Epic Front.
YouTube
Yeah.
channel name or whatever it is, Epic Front. Yeah.
yeah, okay, Epic Front. Oh yeah, there it is, Epic Front. Of
Got
course,
some got
they've
their
got
hands
their
on some glitch
phallic
gear.
rocket in the background. Yeah.
And we
So
avoided an epic fail right there.
yeah, exactly. So it seems like maybe a shift is amongst these guys because maybe they're all part of the same crew since they all have the same tech, or at least we know that most people might have gotten their tech from these guys. The point is, Radiant Black and Radiant Pink are on the scene, and they start to say that buy some time to grab big guns, and that's where Doppler thought was like, I was the big gun. But we get these really awesome pages. I just love the whole like physics interplay with this comic book series. How the other issues we're getting, we're messing with the boundaries of like panels and gravity and everything, and then in this one we're doing the same thing but in a sound distortion kind of effect. So really well done. Awesome lettering by Becca Carey with the, showing how the sound is affecting or showing how the panels are, highlighting the sound through the lettering. It's fantastic.
R.I.P. Their hearing. They're probably deaf now. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Even I love that. Like, Jesus, that hurts my ears. Marshall, what? like you got to do that. The classic, the tried and true. What? But yeah, it's really good. Just like every character in The Walking Dead, they're deaf now.
Yeah, I love how he just hurls like a trash can at Doppler, like just to take out the trash.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, it's Jesus, that hurts my ears. We see that they're in deep shit, but at the same time, Doppler did her part of buying them time. They ram through the building, the warehouse, with this big truck, and they're just trying to run through the two characters, but they just leave Doppler behind, and then she just says, I just wanted to play again. And then he says, play nice, and he just whacks her. A little bit harsh from Marshall, but he's got to lay down the law. So here's the most interesting thing we get. Instead of taking them to jail again, he just lets Doppler go, and he says, consider it a warning. This was pretty interesting to me.
Well, you can see she's, I think Marshall's dealt with people like Radiant Red who, are doing shady things, stealing from banks, and he knows like maybe they're not all bad. Like he's literally had a very similar situation. And these guys are going to kill. And Doppler, you can see, like, wasn't shooting at the house. And now they know that they supercharged her powers, or they can see that there's definitely an effect there with her tech being like glitch guys. So he knows that it's like, well, this person doesn't seem malicious.
Yeah. And it's interesting because, even she doesn't even react to this. She kind of, at least, like, there's no physical reaction from her. She's not trying to fight anymore. She just kind of takes their advice and leaves. But by the look of, the cover for number 13, which we saw, it looks like she's going to be back, or at least something else we might have seen. It looks like she might be back on the bad guy's side soon enough. So hopefully Anya learns from her mistake. I'm not holding my breath, though. And, we got Eva a little bit questioning his decision while also seeing the merits of what he did, saying like, I hope this was the right thing to do, but I know people deserve a second chance, but still, and Marshall just lets her know that it feels right for him. So
and more, I love this line. He goes, like, right feels hard to find. Like, it's true. Like, you don't always know what's right and stuff like that. Or, there's so many shades of gray, especially in modern storytelling. So it's like this, it feels right,
Yeah, and we ran over one of my favorite lines earlier where, as one of the old ladies were falling out of the building, the Doppler blew up. She asks
The
Radiant
millennial.
Black,
Yeah.
are you an angel? And he says, no, ma'am, I'm a millennial. So that was great writing by
Yeah,
Kyle Higgins. Nice little jab there. I love it. And
we get Justine, and she's got a new nickname. She's JJ now.
Yeah, we're getting to the end of this issue, and we see that Marshall's
Marshall.
back. Yeah, so everyone's pretty much pissed at Marshall. Everyone just hates Marshall.
But do you think she's pissed at Marshall, or maybe Nathan was an asshole to her? Because we know the Radiant speaks to him later on. Maybe he was a dick to her. We don't know. And we don't see her face. To reference the Space Coyote Simpsons episode again, it reminds me of like when Homer is like looking for Marge's face and he just goes around and around in a circle and it's just her hair or whatever. Like that's what it reminded me of. As I covered my mouth as I said that, and I did it again, reenacting it. But no, it was very cool. We don't see her face, so we don't know what the reaction is. We don't see her look pissed off at Marshall. We don't know what her facial expression was.
That might be a seed they come back to later. Because you're right, it's strange that they don't show your face, so we don't really know how she's how she really feels, right? She's
Maybe
just
Kathy
walking
got
around.
to her and she's recruiting her for her army, and they're gonna make
Yep.
the Thunderbolts. But no, I don't know.
No, I think she's mad because literally in the same panel that she's walking away, we hear Nathan say, "Despite my best efforts, everybody's still mad at you for disappearing. Well, accept your job.
Oh,
I fixed that." So I think everyone just hates Marshall right now because they
that's
think,
true.
like I think given how small the town is and what we already know about the fact that we have all those kids waiting outside of Marshall's house usually, and they all know that shit about him. I think it's a small town where
Hmm.
news gets around, and I think news of Marshall being missing got around for several obvious
And his butt
reasons.
disease is
Definitely.
gonna
Yeah,
spread as well.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
Yeah.
so like for example, when they were looking for Marshall, they had to have spread the news. The Burnett's had to have, announced to people like, oh, like Marshall's missing. Like, can you help us find him? So I'm assuming that most people at Lockport right now, or a lot of people at Lockport, know that Marshall was missing, and that's why so many people are pissed off at him because
Those
he
teens
just,
who like to shit on him as they walk by his house as he's depressed, like they probably don't have anyone to mess, to mess with.
Their
yeah,
their walk to school is super boring now.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
exactly. So a lot of people have been impacted by Marshall's absence for different reasons. So yeah, Marshall not cool. And we see that Nathan always comes in clutch, and this time with the butt disease excuse, and of course, very interesting choice, but a dealer's choice.
No,
So
it's actually smart. It is a perfect excuse because like people are that's something that you wouldn't tell anybody about or whatever, and there you go, boom. And this is the most you've seen them like be really like close like friends since I mean we only got one interaction earlier on, but you can kind of see now Nathan's kind of acting more like the Nathan we know when they have that dynamic.
yeah, and we knew given the pace of this issue, like how it slowed down a little bit after the insane existence issue, we knew that it was going to end with a banger, setting up like, the end of year two, and especially since the next issue is more of a focus issue, we knew that this one was going to end with a big one, so a big bang, and it does. So we see that, Marshall suggests listening to some SoundCloud page, the same one I believe Anya was working on, or her page.
Yeah, yeah,
So
it's her
yeah,
page.
yeah, so he gives Anya's page to Nathan, and then as Nathan's listening to SoundCloud, we see some rays coming out of his ears, and then we see the big robot talk to Nathan, saying, "Hello,
Hello,
Nathan."
Nathan.
So as we speculated before, this is not the end of, Nathan either having powers
Being
or
connected
being
to
associated,
existence.
yeah, being connected to existence. So we might have like a firestorm situation here. But what I'm wondering is, will this like drive Nathan crazy? Is this some sort of, because like we're assuming the fact that he's approaching Nathan alone, there is some ulterior motive, right? Otherwise, the robot would just talk to both of them. So
Well,
maybe there's some
we've
sort of
seen that
corruption.
cover.
Yeah.
We've seen that cover that was revealed that was hidden on the flash drive, right? That had Nathan there, and he looked very sinister on the cover.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know if that's
So
a spoiler, but if you're in the Discord and you're listening to the Radiant Black podcast, we gonna be talking about it. And it was revealed, and it was a really awesome thing to do to hide a future cover on the flash drive. So I think that could definitely hint at things going downward for Nathan, and he's already died, so he's going down again and again, I guess.
yeah, and it's interesting. Maybe death came with a cost or something. We'll see how this plays out because there's so many different ways they can do this. But I think the next few issues will reveal more. Sorry about that.
And of course, I did look if this was a real song on SoundCloud because you never know with Kyle Higgins and the like the lengths he goes to with the series. We have real bath bombs. The SoundCloud page isn't that ridiculous. I mean, we already have songs for the series, so I couldn't find it. But I mean, when you go to such lengths, people are going to be looking for this stuff, and it wasn't there. But it's still super amazing, and I wouldn't be shocked if someone did make it, not even directly connected to the comic.
Yeah, I mean, this comic has had a lot of, real world connections. We had that code for the bath bombs, and that turned out to be real, so you never know.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess this could be the first time that Existence has spoken to Nathan or whatever since he came back to life from, or during the 6 weeks. But you never know; it could still have an influence on his behavior and stuff like that without him knowing. And this could be the first time that he's aware of Existence not being done with him.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. So I feel
I
like,
wonder I wonder if the name of the song has anything to do with it too, like a shiver of crow wings. Crows are usually associated with death, so
Yeah, I like the name. That's such a
Might be a
clever
little
name for
link
a
there,
non-existent song. Yeah, no, that's a good point that the song, because that is what awoken it with him. And is it the sound wave? Like, I wonder if she
because
produced these sound. Yeah,
the sound waves kind of look like the ones Doppler was doing during the fight.
yeah, and maybe they don't have that effect on a regular person, but someone connected to existence. We know that Glitch Guy's tech does have that effect on people connected with radiance. So maybe it's him specifically, or this is like a new kind of sound only made from space tech.
Yeah.
God, this
Yeah.
series is cool.
Yeah, there's a lot happening in this series, and I feel like for me personally, I've been focusing a lot on what to expect coming forward in Supermassive. But just keep in mind that Supermassive is the first appearance of both Inferno Girl Red and Rogue Sun. A few things to know is that Rogue Sun, we've heard that while they will exist in the same superhero verse as Radiant Black, he's not going to be. They're going to be different. They're going to be going on different journeys post Supermassive. So stick around for that. It really seems like Brian Parrott, I believe, is doing interesting things with Rogue Sun, and I know I've already got my first issue on pre-order. So if you haven't gotten that, check that out. There's an awesome 150 cover with colors by Igor Monti, and a lot of people were talking about that today, talking about the 150 cover and how they can't wait to grab that. Remember that Radiant Black number 9 is the first appearance of Shift, Doppler, and the other third one who we haven't seen named yet, who we just saw will be
The robot,
returning.
right?
Yep, returning in Radiant Black Year 2. So keep on the lookout for those. You guys know those are going to be awesome.
I really
The
liked how Nathan or Marshall referred to 001 as his like cosmic guide, and I kind of realized like Slash or Glitch Guy is basically the Boba Fett of Radiant Black, where like he's like kind of basically a bounty hunter from what we've seen, and I just hope we don't have to wait as long to get his backstory. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just early. Like, just keep in mind, a lot of people are very eager for a lot of things, and I'm just like, be patient. We're getting rewarded. Remember, Invincible took to like issue 19 before we got the Battle Beast and the rest of the people who were with Machine Head, and then we didn't even get development on those characters until another 15 issues in. So
Oh
these
yeah.
things take time. It's just awesome that we're already getting so much. It's cool that we're seeing what looks like Excel, like. Excel looks to me like a Lizard League kind of thing from Invincible, but like these
Oh,
characters are way more, like impressive than just like generic Lizard League people. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to the first, basically, some people were saying Sinister Six or Fearsome Five kind of thing. I'm looking towards that aspect of it, and I hope that these characters are around for the long term. Some of them look really cool. Doppler's fucking awesome.
and you already
Shift
care
looks
about
cool.
her, right? Like Doppler's
Yeah.
like she's not even a villain, really. I mean, she's done shady things, but like it's like, damn you, Higgins, for making me care about these villains and you giving them so many dimensions. Like now I can't even root against her.
I mean, isn't that how Satomi started? She was a villain for a while too.
I
Or
know,
we
I
we
know.
looked at her as a villain at least.
hmm At least once we saw her perspective, we knew. But with Anya, with Anya, it seems like she's gotten a lot of chances to make amends, but she's not taking those chances. So I'm interested to see on how that plays out.
With Satomi, we had Owen as the real villain, though. So like we traded a
Yeah.
villain for the true villain, so it was a fair trade.
Yeah, and one last thing, or a few things. Radiant Black just got its first, or Black Market Narrative, or Black, yeah, that's right. Black Market Narrative got their first exclusive cover a couple of days ago. I think it was a week ago now, and it dropped a few copies. And someone in the Discord found out. I don't know how they. I think it was the email, right? So Kyle sent out a new edition of the newsletter saying he just did a drop of the Radiant Black number 10 exclusive Black Market Narrative Blacklight covers by Marcelo Costa, where he was signing them. And there were options on the website. You got signed, not signed, CGC signed. Obviously, your boy here went a little hard and got the CGC 9/8 signed. I just felt like it's the
God
first.
damn.
It's the
It's a really
first.
nice cover, right? It's that
Yeah, it's a
poster.
great
Oh,
cover.
it's
It's
so
done
cool.
by the creative team. Everyone knows how I feel about exclusive covers from exclusive stores. I'm not a fan, but since it was done by the actual creative team, done by the Black Market Narrative themselves, who are the creators, like it's Kyle's creative thing, and he's the one who created Radiant Black with Marcelo. So I just figured since it was from the creators, it was a big deal. I wanted to get one. I thought it was really cool. Obviously, the cover is awesome. I already got my Blacklight poster ordered a month ago, and I just can't wait. to get that issue, and I hope everyone else got one. And I know there were not many. I know very few people got one, but
I think there was only 10 at the drop.
yeah.
Another reason to join the Discord, right? Because like Twitter, you get notification on the stuff, but like people like hook each other up, like, hey guys, don't forget about this link. Like this is dropping in like 30 minutes. This exclusive cover is on sale and stuff like that. So definitely, if you're weary of that kind of stuff and want to get it as quickly as possible, that's the place to be.
Yeah, and a lot of people have been asking us when we're going to interview people from the Radiant Black team. That's not a bad idea. So we'll tell you what he told us. Kyle told us that once Black Market Narrative gets 1,500 followers on Twitter, that he's going to come on the podcast. So here's a few things we can do. You guys want us to get people like Kyle, Marcelo, Michael, whoever on the podcast, and just reach out, let them know on Twitter, let us know, tag us, tag them. Just make some noise. You know what I'm saying? Follow the podcast. Let's grow the podcast. The more
like Doppler, make some noise.
Yeah, exactly. The more we grow the podcast.
They're 400 away right now, basically. So
yeah, 400 like that. Yeah, the more we grow our podcast, the more reach we have, the more they're gonna want to, work with us because we could reach a wider audience. So let's work on getting more. Let's get the word out there more. And finally, maybe we'll reach out to Michael one of these days and ask him if he wants to be on the podcast. I know he has a lot of work and he's a busy guy, and that's why we haven't asked him yet, because we would love to have Michael on because he's lovely. So maybe we'll reach out to him and see if he wants to join us for an episode where we can talk Radiant Black and venture into the gray area of what he can and can't talk about. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so, before we do the draw, I just went on Twitter and fucking found like a different category called message requests with like 8 or 9 people that I didn't see earlier for the draw.
Okay. Yeah. So just send them to me right now on the message, and I'll redraw.
Okay, cool. I can just screen cap it.
No, send them, type them out, because it's like I just copy paste it into the generator.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's just
we'll cut this from the
podcast. Yeah. So it's been a great month for Radiant Black. We've had a lot of cool announcements. We just want to say thank you again to everybody who's been part of the community. And this is the first of many giveaways. So we already talked about how we have the Radiant Black number 5 second print with the Invincible Conquest homage cover. That's going to be part of our next giveaway. We're at 265 on Instagram and 254 on Twitter. Once we get to 300 on one of them, we're going to do the giveaway for the Radiant Black number 5 second print. And then after that, once the Radiant Black Volume 2 trade paperback has come out, we're going to do 2 giveaways for that. We're going to give away 2 of those to 2 different people. So there are a lot of cool giveaways coming out. Again, the only condition is, because we're paying for for everything, we just ask that the people who enter the giveaway, it's only going to be in the US, Canada, just because shipping is expensive. And once again, if anybody ever wants to talk Radiant Black, reach out to us at radiantblackpodcast@gmail.com, or just reach out to us at Radiant Black Pod on Twitter or Radiant Black Podcast on Instagram. We're very active. We're always looking to talk to more people and get more guests on the podcast.
Yeah, definitely. And while we're just doing a little bit of maintenance here, before we wrap up and reveal the winner, I do want to reveal that I've just been posting stuff. I made the OnlyFans joke earlier, and I was going to make an OnlyFans on Christmas, and I did, and I gave them my bank info, but you have to have a lot more followers than I do to really be verified. So I just gave them my bank info for nothing. So obviously I'm not, I'm not doing like tasteful nudes and stuff like that and boudoir pics. I'm revealing my soul. I'm writing like poetry and shit like that. And so if you want to follow me on Instagram, where I'm putting some of my writing, just follow me at All That I've Thought, just one word, no apostrophes or anything, All That I've Thought. And if you see a picture of a douchey looking guy in a blue sweater, you're in the right place. No, but yeah, it's fun stuff. I'm actually getting really into it, this Marshall stuff. This panel really stuck with me. And the panel where Marshall is talking about how he wants to recuperate here. I'm just bringing it up. Where Marshall's like, yeah, I don't know. She's still an old friend. It's nice to have one back. Maybe I should focus on that stuff anyways. The nice stuff, the writing and recuperating. And that's, Nathan, and the writing of Nathan has really been giving me that kick in the ass, as well as a couple other things in my life. And I've been writing more. So definitely check that out if you're interested in just writing. And it's going to be silly and weird, but also maybe insightful. Who knows?
Yeah, and right now we're gonna do the draw for the giveaway. So we're doing the randomizer a few times right now. We're doing it 3 times. So the first one, boom, John just now. Second one, boom, John just now. And the last one being done, it's randomizing.
Drum roll.
And the winner is Aaron Fraser. So this is how we're gonna do it. They're gonna. The 2 names we got. Camilo was number 2. So, and then number 1 was Aaron Fraser. So Aaron Fraser, you have 1 week to claim this giveaway. And once you do, we'll get it sent out to you, of course. And if you do not claim this giveaway in 1 week from tomorrow, so tomorrow's Wednesday, New Comic Book Day, you have until next Wednesday to claim this giveaway. If you do not claim this, we're gonna give it to the next person on the list. And if that person doesn't claim it, then we're just gonna do the whole giveaway again on the next episode. So
Next Wednesday, so January.
Yeah, so you've got
5th?
till January, the end of January. We'll just say this, the morning of the January 6th. You've got until then to claim this giveaway.
11:59.
Yes, exactly. 11:59, January 5th. You have until then to get your giveaway claimed. If you do it before then, you literally just have to send us a message telling us that you won the giveaway, and we'll take it from there. So that's it. You could reach us anywhere on Discord, which is linked in the Radiant Black podcast description. I'll include it in the episode description. Or you could reach us at Radiant Black Podcast, at Radiant Black Podcast on Instagram, or at Radiant Black Pod on Twitter, or just email us at Radiant Black Podcast. So.
And if your name didn't get drawn, there's going to be, obviously, we mentioned before, future giveaways. And the next one is really cool with that the Conquest cover, right? The Conquest inspired one. And then the third one, there's twice the chances to win. So and because if you're already following us, we want to give you guys a chance to win still too, because we want to reward people that are day oneers and people that have hopped on early. So we'll figure out a way to include you too.
Yep, don't worry. Like I said, once the new trade paperback comes, we're gonna have 2 of those, so double the chances to get more people into Radiant Black. Anyway, I just want to thank everyone for joining us for today's episode. Think you got anything else you want to end with?
No, I just want to say it's been a great first calendar year of the Radiant Black podcast. It's been awesome, and we've got an amazing following and community growing there on the Discord. It's fantastic, and I want to thank everyone for being super, super chill and not going against Kyle or Michael's wishes when they reveal cool stuff for us, because it's really a privilege to have that, and we're not wasting it. We're just enjoying it and treating the creators with respect, and it's a really cool place to be able to interact with creators and have them feel at the community. So it's great. And I just want to thank you guys.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a great year. Having a lot of fun being on the podcast. Thanks you guys for inviting me. Join the Discord. It's full of a lot of chill people, cool access to Kyle and the rest of the creative team. I'm excited for year 2.
Yeah, and here's to a radiant new year.
And before I go, I just want to say, don't forget to watch Book of Boba Fett tomorrow. All right.
If this is edited by that's a quick turnaround, Jesus. Okay.